Hello photography fans, Martin here from All About Street Photography channel, and today I would like to talk about a photo taken by one of the most well-known war photographer. The photo that is very famous and also a little controversial. So let's check out the falling soldier. The photo in question is the falling soldier taken in Spain at the beginning of Spanish Civil War by famous Magnum agency co-founder Robert Capa. If you are not familiar with him or simply want to find out more, feel free to check out my video about his life and photography. The subject of the photograph is Republican soldier at the moment of his death. Now, the falling soldier is said to be perhaps the greatest war photograph ever made and also the most debatable picture in the history of photojournalism. Even though a description like that may seem to be a little exaggerated, the story behind this photograph is really interesting. So, what was the controversy about? Capa was actually accused of staging the famous photograph. There are a few hypotheses how this was supposed to be done. I'm going to present you the ones I have found, but I don't want to imply which one you should believe. It's up to you to create your own opinion. So, why was this picture so special? The Spanish Civil War was actually the first war monitored by modern media, and it was the first widely published photograph of such kind of imagery. It is also considered one of the best combat photographs ever made, since it was next level of war photography never seen before until then. When the picture appeared in the Life magazine in 1937, captioned as "A Spanish soldier the instant he's dropped by a bullet through the head," readers were pretty shocked, since nothing quite like that had been published until then. The photo became famous for the way it is capturing the terrifying sudden death. When we look at the composition, we see the falling soldier on the left side looking to the empty space on the right side. This creates a visual imbalance which also amplifies the loneliness of the soldier during the time of his death, as the viewers are subconsciously looking for balance when looking at the pictures. When we look at the top of the soldier's head, we can see his tassel, which was mistaken for skull parts by the caption maker of the Life magazine. The authenticity was actually not publicly questioned until 1975, when Philip Knightley in his book War Correspondence, The First Casualty, raised the question. Capa was supposed to say the picture was actually staged to reporter O.D. Gallagher. In the interview by New York World Telegraph, Capa talked how he spent time with this particular soldier on the Cordoba front. The soldier was nervous and impatient, climbing over the sandbags and dropping back down to the trench because of the machine gun fire. Capa followed him during his final attempt and took the shot. Capa had to wait 2 more hours with a dead body before he could escape the trench in the dark. In the book Blood and Champagne, The Life and Times of Robert Capa, Alex Kershaw discusses an unseen footage of Capa during the Spanish Civil War and the man falling down as he runs down a hillside. Perhaps the picture can be exactly what the name is, just the falling soldier. One of the hypotheses also implies he not only asked the soldier to run down the hill and fall, but also that during this attempt the soldier was actually shot and killed. That way, he would basically be responsible for his death and rightfully felt guilty. There are actually 2 things supporting this theory. The place Capa said he took the photo at was actually different from the one that was later identified as the actual place of the event and was far put from the front. Another thing supporting this theory is the fact that there is another very similar photo taken by Robert Capa with exactly same composition. Why there is no blood or dead body on the ground? Was that one staged and the first one was not? And does it actually matter? In the radio interview in 1947 about his then new book Slightly Out of Focus, he said,
"I had once one picture which was appreciated much more than the other ones, and I certainly did not know when I shot it that it was a especially good picture. It happened in Spain. It was very much at the beginning of my career as a photographer and very much at the beginning of the Spanish Civil War. It was in Andalusia, and those people were very green. They were not soldiers, and They were dying every minute with great gestures. And I was there in the trench with about 20 milicianos, and those 20 milicianos had 20 old rifles. And on the other hill facing us was a Franco machine gun. So my milicianos been shooting in the direction of that machine gun for 5 minutes, and then stood up and said, "Vamonos," and get out from the trench and began to go after that machine gun. Sure enough, the machine gun opened up and moved them down. So what was left of them came back and again take pot shots in the direction of the machine gun, which certainly was clever enough not to answer. And after 5 minutes again, I said, "Vamonos," and they got moved on again. This thing repeated itself about 3 or 4 times. So the 4th time, I just kind of put my camera above my head and even didn't look and clicked a picture when they moved over the trench.
He also explained he didn't develop the film himself, but sent it back to Paris among many others. When he returned from Spain after 3 months, he found out he was a famous photographer thanks to that picture. To this day, the most people still believe the picture is candid, and no confirmation was ever presented to dispute that. Let me know what is your opinion, and if you think the picture was staged or not, and if it is actually important to you. I'm probably more inclined to Capa's version, and I believe the photo is candid. Or maybe I just want to believe in that. I hope you liked today's story behind the photograph and learned something new. If you did, feel free to give it a like. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.